Gods and Kyle, you know, production. Yeah.
I think Lycan's actually.
Yeah.
We don't
time to prepare for battle.
Certainly.
Yep, I 100% agree. Liquid obviously always a threat. They can win the game, but they need to outplay TNC. The Ember has the power to win the game by himself.
Well, you all seem very confident for TNC. Let's find out what our commentators think about this first draft of Game 1. Head over to Trent and Zayori.
Thank you very much, Sheever. We are here indeed. Game number 1 set to get underway. Trent, how are we feeling about these drafts?
That's a 5th pick Lycan. That feels pretty damn good lately. So hard not to root for TNC just based on that alone. And the rest of the draft is,
as much as I want to disagree with the panel, I'm with you. It's pretty tough. This looks like a very solid draft for TNC. They've also been playing very well this tournament. This will be a difficult game for Liquid. Very excited about this opening best of 3 today, Trent, as we move into the playoffs. Down bottom, some heroes hiding in the trees. Tim's in mind control, kind of looking at each other, but it looks like they'll just part ways just fine. Looking at how these lanes will settle down, seems both sides will go for a 2-on-2 out of the gate. Miracle will take the TA mid, and he will be matched up against Armel's.
No real mix-ups here or anything like that?
Not yet, at least.
I mean, we're just kind of like looking at this, and you try and figure out, all right, how's this game plan going to go? All right, what does our Darkseer do? Now, we had that game for Optic where, well, we might have questioned the Darkseer perhaps a couple times.
A little battle over the bounty runes here. Kuro in the front lines, putting some pretty good damage into Sam H. He's trying to head back to friendly territory, but this could potentially be a first blood, and that's it. Kuro gets it. Will also get the other bounty rune, and Cuckoo probably likely to survive. Does back to the tower. Great start for Liquid.
All right, right off the bat there. So getting a little bit of a taste of their own medicine here with Cuckoo on that Vengeful Spirit, something that Kuro's been running. Nice little solid pick for them, using as kind of a defensive swap against certain drafts, and of course, always gives you some sort of aggro potential. Maybe Death Prophet not the best side lane hero, several teams have tried it out, but when you have a nice pairing like this, like the Vengeful Spirit, feels good. But they're very tanky early on, the Visage and the Naga Siren.
And again, Cuckoo now going to be in trouble. Another kill up for Liquid. So this Visage Naga duo proving pretty potent already. Sam H still trading right clicks with Kuro. That 7 armor Naga with a stout shield. Not really the hero you want to go blow for blow with, but with Cuckoo coming back in, they will repel Kuro.
I like how they're playing very aggressive right off the bat too, because they know that he's got the wave right now, right? No stun, so pretty hard to go for kills onto Kuro. Just wants to try and harass down Cuckoo as much as possible. But in the end here, after the Darkseer pick, we always used to talk about these counters with the hero in lane, and most of those counters are based upon regen. Trying to look to out-sustain the Ion Shell, and Lycan, a hero that, oh man, man, down up top there. Can't get a word in on any of these other lanes.
Yeah,
but
non-stop
3-0 for Liquid. Look at damn good. You got to snowball this game is what it comes down to. Overall, on paper, I feel real good about this Radiant draft, but nothing matters in the draft if you just get outlaned.
Yep.
And again, up top, Cuckoo's being chased to the side.
Able to survive this one. They're pinging it out. Matumba Man does see him. No TP scroll, and another death in this top lane. Disastrous for TNC. Not too bad if you can see a couple of deaths in the laning phase, but this is starting to really stack up, Trent.
Not looking all too hot. And they actually can't even TP the Venge up top yet. They have to wait for poor Cuckoo, as it's still on cooldown. That is how fast he went down.
Yeah, that's always a bummer. Checking in on this bottom lane, seems like Darkseer having a pretty good presence against Raven's Lycan. As Kyle was mentioning, Darkseer is sort of hit or miss in that regard. It gets that early farm, has that early presence. It always looks like a great Darkseer game, and so far, so good on that front. Now up top, they're going to go in onto Matumba Man. They dive the tower, they connect with a stun, and maybe they'll find this first kill the other way. They do, but they are in deep. Tim's trading right clicks with Kuroki. There's a TP in. Another stun set up. It looks like Tim's might be the next to go down, but now it's Kuro that's low. A 1-for-1. This is a big-time cluster in these trees. More TPs. Matumba Man has come back into the fray. GH gets killed by another Crypt Swarm, and this little exchange will go the way of TNC for now. But they've still got to get out of this tree line. Tim's very low on HP. Couple of mangoes and some stick charges. Cuckoo will get caught in the net under the tower, and Liquid will get that cleanup kill.
They really needed something up there, though. Huge plays coming out from TNC, and that was right after a kill on Armel in the mid, though, with GH wrapping around on the Nyx assassin, and of course, then he rotates top and gets killed.
Well, it's not over yet. Sam H now caught by an ensnare. Again, these right clicks with that minus armor from the level 2 Riptide actually hurt quite a bit. Soul Assumption brings Sam H low. The Riptide just barely off the mark. I don't know if they're going to be able to find this one, but with the Grave Chill, they close the gap. 7-3 as Liquid get another on the scoreboard. Tim's trying to turn and do what damage he can, but I'm going to agree with you on that one. A couple of stick charges. But last thing you want to do is concede any extra deaths in this lane that's already been pretty...
They are going to get that good game for mind control that you're hoping for, right? There's not like a kill threat against the Darkseer, which is nice, but he also doesn't have that pressure. Because Raven is a Lycan. He's got 12.4 HP regen at this point with the Ring of Health, so Ion Shell's just kind of out of the equation right now. And now that means that his Helm of the Dominator is going to come very quickly because he's also kind of guaranteed to get almost every single last hit, right? Not really a big concern. He's got high damage for some denies too. Not working out too much for him so far, but you'd expect that'll start coming into play.
Yeah, it kind of goes both ways down there, right? Darkseer is getting a lot of space, but Lycan is one of those cores that can farm. Okay, Armel, he's going to die here as Miracle just walks under the tower, and a pause comes out from Armel. It's like, could have been a misclick perhaps. Either way, Miracle in great shape down mid lane. Not only from kills, but 24-12 in terms of CS compared to the 13-3 Ember Spirit. Mid, very.
Yeah, and you're looking at like this matchup, right? And well, we didn't get the matchup in the vacuum. They had the rotation coming through from the Nyx Assassin. They punished Armel early. So Miracle off to a great start here. 2 levels ahead of Armel at this point.
Ooh, that's brutal. Level 6 TA, only a level 4 Ember.
Yeah, and level 6 TA is just like kind of G. Honestly, with the changes to Templar Assassin and now the way these traps do damage, it is so irritating. Already up to 250, he's just camping there on top of it. There's no sentry ward for Armel.
There's just nothing he can do. GH comes in, connects with a stun. There's the Carapace in case Armel tries to do some damage. And it's a dead Ember Spirit. Killing spree now for Miracle as we roll over to the 5th minute.
Armel, that pause maybe from the headset hitting the old keyboard there because it is very frustrating when you're losing a match that you thought you were going to win, but he doesn't have that proper assistance. He doesn't have the vision around him to spot these rotations. He doesn't have the sentry for the traps. Doesn't have anything to deal with like even just the meld, right? As simple as that.
Yeah.
He's got problems.
This is very bad. Now, I will say Ember is one of those heroes that can recover. He does a lot of damage even without items in that early game, so if he can just get the experience, he desperately needs level 6. That's his survivability tool, and I think once that comes out, the tides might shift. But up top now, Sam H initiated on. It's a 3-on-2. This Death Prophet is going down quick. Hurrow in the front lines, and now GH connects. Tim's left behind. He has a Burrow Strike in a few seconds and some stick charges, so he should be good. But yet another kill goes the way of Liquid up top.
And the way down bottom, like, Raven is surviving, but one thing that's kind of different when it comes to this like off-lane Lycan versus the safe lane is that he's only getting the lane creep right now. You know, he's not getting anything out of the jungle. He can't push the wave and then jump off to the side. That's where these Lycans are just getting completely out of hand, especially like 3-3 when you watch him just using it so much. But
up top, more pressure. Tim's actually stuns in. And now in kind of an awkward position. He's already used his stick. The Nyx does have an Impale. It'll connect. Matumba Man's here with a Soul Assumption, and Tim's will bite the bullet this time and head straight to the grave. Now 3-11. An action-packed laning phase, and obviously Liquid the big winners here as mid lane. They might get this counter kill back the other way. It's going to be close, but Miracle brings down Armel first before going down to Cuckoo. Definitely don't want to die there, but got to be happy that he's still crippling that Ember Spirit, not giving him that valuable experience there. Would have secured his level 6.
Yeah, I believe that is now a core vengeance support Ember. It's Cuckoo hops over top of him in the net worth chart thanks to that kill.
Yeah. That's a real heartbreaker. If that goes the other way, Armel's game feels a little more salvageable.
A hell of a lot better, I would say.
But still not a huge gold lead for Liquid. I mean, 7 minutes, 1K is certainly notable. But TNC are hanging in there. They're Lycan, kind of their big breadwinner right now. A lot of stock in that Lycan basket. Mid lane again, Armel. A lot of damage coming his way. Searing Chains buy him a little bit of time. Nice stun from Cuckoo. Stops Miracle dead in his tracks. Now the TP in from Tim's. They will keep their Ember Spirit alive, but it takes both supports pulling a rotation.
When you're starting to wonder if your mid hero is about to get the tome, you're in trouble. Like,
yeah, he's the same level as the support bench.
This is getting rough.
They're both level 5.
He needs a little bit of me time in those neutrals. But he will get 6. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. Next wave coming through, but
I think there's a thread on the front page right now about cores versus supports getting tomes, and it's all too real. This game. I like this build for Miracle. It's just going to go straight into the Desolator, and I think it's absolutely the right choice here. You're already this far ahead. You know Ember is a pretty low armor hero to begin with. This is a great way you continue to press your advantage.
Yeah, it's also a game where you have an offlaner that's not necessarily the most like active offlaner early on in the game. Darkseer really wants to get a lot of farm, get some big items going. He's not someone who's just going to be like, all right, let's go kill people. So that's where the Blink Dagger might be a little bit more valuable. Instead, Miracle can focus more on the farming aspect. Now, they have smoked up, but they're not going to find the ancient camp that he went to. They'll have some vision down now at the other one. However, he's getting a big fat stack up here, and it just continues to roll his way.
I think this is a triple stack here for Miracle at the 8.5-minute mark, so great farm for him. Obviously #1 on net worth, and
Kuro's taking that experience. GH wants a little bit here too.
Get closer to those level 6s on your supports. The only hero farming closest TA now is the Darkseer. He picked up that Helm of the Dominator, so now he has a jungle creep to play around with. Mind Control is pretty much just having a field day in this offlane. Now, I think you and I have been a little cynical about the Darkseer in this current meta, but this is a game where it feels like this pick really couldn't have been better.
Yeah, it's all about just making use of that as well too. So
picks up that trail creep. Yep, Tims connects with the stun. Raven shapeshift on. Mind Control likely to go down. The double ion shell hoping to get a counter kill himself, but it's not enough. As that was happening up top, a big fight breaks out. Looks like Liquid will be the breadwinners there.
Diving under there, killing the DP. Not even a chance to be executed.
Yeah, this DP just feels like she's made out of paper this game. This current start, she is going to be very slow on that Yule Scepter, and that's one of those key items that allows her to get involved in these team fights a lot more.
Snowball is quite real, and it's only going to get worse. Once level 6 comes out on that Nyx Assassin, you're going to be dealing with the vision from the Visage Birds just flying around, and they can just help out with Vendettas. It's actually a pretty dirty combo.
Look at this mid lane. Armel just walks to the high ground. Miracle gets him to half health just immediately.
He can even like trap the remnant and stuff too. So if he comes back, like
up top now, Vengeful Spirit. Those are Visage Birds. They're going to be doing enough damage to find an easy kill there. Liquid now 15-5. The lead is growing. The next set of bounty runes come out.
And that'll be level 6 for whoever wants it on Liquid side with the Tome.
Tims, he's going to get chased down by Mind Control. No Burrow Strike for another 5. GH is on the way.
Can't be body blocked, though. He actually has to take it over, though, so he'll have it now instead. Use that Purge with the Surge. Plays from Mind Control.
No vision, but Tims with the stun. Out comes the Purge. The stun connects, and Tims is out of options. As that was happening, Armel dies again. Rotation from Matumba Man alongside Kuro.
Oh,
2 down on the side of TNC.
Siren. And that was like, he even just got 6 on the Naga too, so if something had gone wrong, they have the song with the backup plan.
Yeah.
6 is there for the Nyx Assassin, he's Vendetta. This is so out of hand right now.
The wrap around, Ion Shell on that little creep, stun onto Sam H. It's a swap from Cuckoo, that'll cost him his life, and it's not even gonna save Sam H. It's gonna be another quick 2 in the mid lane. Maybe they can grab Tims here as well. He gets off a decent stun, there's the epicenter, but Song of the Siren. Ember rotates in, won't be able to do anything as he gets put to sleep, and Liquid will sound the retreat. It could even be a fake back. Lycan Wolves on the way in. They'll finish off that Hellbear Smasher. That's nice.
They even go for TPs out, though. Might punish here.
Yeah, Raven with the shapeshift. They do catch Searing Chains on the Matumba Man. A little bit greedy, and that'll be a big streak ended. Armel getting credit for that. Huge sign of life for the Ember Spirit, but he's going to need a few more of those.
Can't say. I'm really surprised I didn't go for TP. Very good. Yeah, I mean, I think they were trying to like play together because GH didn't have one, but still.
Bottom lane, that was a lot of space for Mind Control. He finishes off that tier 1 tower, and he's got 1,600 gold now in the bank.
Oh. Snowball to snowball. Okay, so why did we like the TNC draft, though? The idea of like some pretty strong core heroes. Obviously, the Lycan has been looking great so far this tournament. The Death Prophet.
If you get to 10 minutes and the kill score is pretty even, I think their draft feels pretty good. They've got spammable stuns. Ember is pretty good against TA in that vacuum, like we talked about. But Ember does need a little momentum to get going.
So now how do we get there? How do we get these big heroes home? We have the Helm of the Dominator on the Lycan. If he gets that right creep, maybe they can go for some more kills, kind of use every single ulti with the shapeshift. But we all know that's a little bit less effective now. And either way, it's all about kind of like trying to get some control back over this game. And when Liquid are in the Roach Pit right now.
Yeah, I think if I were TNC, I would be tempted to try to split up the map a little bit.
They've got the Wolves inside. They know, but
you've got Lycan and DP.
Oh, they're going.
Are they? They get the stun onto GH, but Roche has already gone down. Sure, they get the pick on Nyx, but I'm not sure this is the fight you want to take. It's a good back on 3. They'll kill Sam H straight away. Cuckoo next. Armel getting low as he desperately tries to make it away, but Liquid in hot pursuit. Tims with a nice stun on 2 does bring down the Aegis, but this fight far from over. Raven being stalked down by Visage Birds. The right clicks will be a bit too much for the Lycanthrope to handle. Tims will be able to survive. Level 4 Burrow Strike now available, but a pretty convincing fight for Liquid. They lose the Aegis nice and early, but still, that's a 12-minute rush.
That's the best level 1 vacuum you're ever going to see.
I think so.
3 heroes. I mean, the spell is just so worthless right now, and somehow he's able to get in there with the 4 points and the Surge and make sure that fight was 100% going the way of Liquid. He's enough gold to opt towards some boots people want. Who needs boots these days? Darkseer, of course, with 4 points to Surge, and he can opt for that Blink Dagger.
Yeah,
Plenty of options. He can early sight, honestly, and just really put this one to bed.
Mid lane, Trent, Sam H gets snuck up on by GH. That's Vendetta. Kuroki has Song of the Siren about 5 seconds. They'll kill Tim's first. Sam H starting to regen up a little bit. Nice dust from Cuckoo, but are they actually going to be able to get anything out of this? There's the song. This is the reset. Cuckoo does make it out, but they are getting in position. Buyback now from Tim's. They'll TP to that tier 2 tower in the mid lane, but they want this Death Prophet. They'll find her first, Lycan, put inside of the ensnare despite the shapeshift. Another decent vacuum. They will bring down Miracle, but now Armel falls. Cuckoo the next target of choice. It's a good ultimate from Tim's, kind of. It tickles, still it just feels like TNC don't have the damage here. Cuckoo does get left behind, and another very convincing fight. They get a small victory in bringing down the TA, but in the end, not what they were hoping for with both Ember and...
Yeah, I have to say, I do kind of like what TNC is doing, though. Like, they're trying to find that fight. They're trying to find that kill streak to get onto one of these heroes and get back into it. They know if they just sit back and relax, if they're done. You know, it kind of looks like they're running into a brick wall, but I feel like that's their only option. They have to try these plays every time they have Raven there with the shapeshift. So,
right. Yeah.
It's going to get worse, though, obviously. The next one, even tougher with that Solar Crest available on the Visage now.
Before
he and his allies are
before that Roche, I was kind of thinking TNC could try to split by just utilizing the Exorcism with the Lycan now that he's got the Necro Book to try to pressure some towers so that that Ember Spirit can at least have a moment of peace on the map to start looking for some items. I mean, he's gone for Power Tread on Ember Spirit. That's
yeah, it doesn't feel that great.
Not great. Power Tread's Yules is not your go-to build
it's
with a
like
casual brace.
Yeah, you buy that Blade Mail and you're like, look, I know, guys, we got to fight or something. You know, it feels like it's one of those games.
It's pretty brutal. So, and on the other side for Liquid, now they have this luxury of being able to set the tempo. They can sit back and continue to farm the map, or they can stay aggressive and force TNC to take these fights that they're not really keen on. Now, the Blink Dagger gets secured for Miracle. His Desolator's already...
Dire's top tower isn't well at the moment.
Well, at the very least, there's not that Aegis to worry about, right? So you can actually keep making these aggressive plays.
Yep.
They have to try and find those things from team.
Dire's top tower.
Yeah, 7 seconds now till shapeshift, and we also have the level 2 Necro coming out here. So I don't know if they want to go for a smoke, but they're gonna find some sort of play. Carapace set up top out of the Vendetta.
Dire's top tower is done for.
Nice survival there. Would definitely slowing things down a little bit. I think perhaps disappointed at losing that Aegis so early, but I'm just working on that next round of core items. BKB will be coming up for the TA. The Dark Seer has already picked up a pipe after that Helm of the Dominator.
I kind of sat on it for a while, trying to figure out what was going to be best, but just to ensure that they don't lose one of those big comeback fights, I think pipe is a solid choice. A lot of magical damage coming from the Radiant side. It does feel like it kind of has to be Tim to turn this in one round, and well, he's not going to get a Dagger anytime. Fortunately. So it's going to be a pretty rough epicenter to try and figure this one out.
1,000 gold on the same. Still quite a ways to go. Raven's Lycan now up to level 2 Necro Book, not that far away from level 3, so that does open up some rat potential, gives you some detection against this TA, which certainly is handy, and also against the Nyx. But, oh, you look at that net worth breakdown, and there is just so much pressure on this Lycan to perform. He is the only one that has some items in the inventory.
And, I mean, you heard it talk about it on the panel, too. It's like this idea of controlling all 3 lanes, the way Liquid won TI, this hiding in the trees thing. Templar Assassin has evolved into a hero that's excellent at that, especially when she snowballs up early, but now with stupid traps. Like, with the 15 talent, the plus 200 damage, it is a very irritating thing to try and play up against. So, once they've already locked down top and mid, and now Miracle's down in the bottom lane, too. They are closing it in here on TNC and taking away any area for them to try and farm back into this one.
Armel forced the TP out.
Yeah, he bailed on the Yules and went drums. Straight up bought it.
I don't know what the build is for it. Honestly, nothing feels right. I mean, I think the drum helps obviously get some stats, give you a little extra movement speed, but
I kind of wonder if he regrets not going for bots. I feel like that might be something you kind of need, but at the same time, the waves are so pushed in, maybe that wouldn't even be that beneficial for him, so.
Yeah, that does often feel like one of the great recovery items for Ember, though, because it just makes you so mobile and you capitalize on space so much more easily.
How much space is there, though? Like, the space he's getting is all so close to his base that I don't even know how much it would benefit him.
True. Definitely a tough call. Makitamba Man working on the Aghanim Scepter. He's got Solar Crest and Helm of the Dominator already. Very standard Visage build, but farming very nicely. Middle of the pack. And once that Aghanims comes out, of course, ups his utility and damage quite a bit with that extra bird. Familiar.
Ah, yes. I like to see them try and get a little bit of space for Tim's, honestly. I feel like if you're going to come back into this game, it has to be through that Blink Dagger. He's up to 1,400 gold, so hopefully he picks up one of the streaks. I actually think that would benefit them more. They backed away under the cover of a Vision ward here from the side of Liquid, so pretty sure they know they just went high ground and smoked. What their response will be.
They have been missing for a hot minute here. Head up to the high ground, and Liquid are right nearby, but it's Kuroki they're going to bump into, and Song of the Siren might get the reset. They have the silence, and maybe it's just a quick pick onto Kuro. The rest of Liquid nearby. They're going to move back towards the shrine. Matumba Man trying to TP out. Oh, that was not going to happen.
Sniper there. Just a bit of panic.
Okay.
Get it?
So the smoke works. Actually pretty nice for TNC. 2 much-needed kills. Still a massive deficit, but plays like that are a way to climb your way back into this game.
Yeah, they don't find the Templar Assassin, though, and now he's into the deep. With the Refraction, Miracle can easily farm up some of these Necro creeps. I don't know where there's much damage.
Look at this Death Prophet, though, Trent. In complete poverty mode. Power Treads, Bracer, Ghost Scepter.
Yeah, that's not a Yules.
That is not the build you see too often. They will scout out GH here, though. Might be a dead Nyx Assassin as Tims connects with a stun. That'll actually be 3 kills. But uh-oh, it's Miracle. He's got a BKB, and he is ready to use it. Sam H will pop the Exorcism for this. Miracle needs to be just a little bit careful, but he's got some reinforcements. Of course, there is a Song of the Siren here. A Burrow Strike jumps in. Kuro silenced again. Swapped back.
This fight's so hard to go shapeshift.
And they're going to kill Sam H. This Darkseer drops the wall and has plenty of damage. Cuckoo's gone down as well. Armel just trying to make it out with the Remnants. Raven does not have shapeshift, as you mentioned. And now he's just out of options. Hot Pursuit, will they actually be able to catch him here, though? Kuro looking for the ensnare, makes it up to the high ground. The Lycan locked in place, but they don't want to overcommit. They will play this with some control, and Liquid will just go back to farming and wait for this next.
Yeah, they've been very reserved this game. Ever since the explosion of the laning phase, since then, it's just kind of been like relax, cover, close in. Very much a just kind of like choke out economy game here from Liquid.
Kind of what you would expect from a Goliath like this with so much experience under their belt. 12K net worth lead at 20 minutes. Another smoke now from TNC behind the tower. Tims channels the Epi. They back up almost in time. It does connect on 2, but really not a hell of a lot of damage. Kuro has the Song of the Siren, sets it up on Tims. They'll put down a Sentry Ward for good measure, and Tims, well, he might not be the first casualty here. They're actually going to take this fight, and they bring down Miracle. As the Lycan gets into the fray, they're going to try to chase down Mind Control. Kuro doesn't have a great way to reset this.
No vacuum follow-up.
Nothing after that. Now Mind Control, rather, he does get brought down. A double kill for Raven. Matumba Man on the run. The familiars will drop some stuns. TNC showing a serious sign of life here, Trent, with 3 down on the side of Liquid.
I mean, there is one thing about BKB. It does not help you very much against Lycan. Absolutely demolished the help of the Necro 3, too, just to ensure there's no sort of like a meld trick play there from Miracle. Maybe he can find a blink out or something. And
demolished. That fight was pretty much all Lycan. 2,200 damage done. Ember did manage to do 1,600 as well, but the Lycan throw coming in big.
What a time.
Perfect
TNC.
time. They walk right into the Roche pit. Now, this is Roche 2, of course. First one went down around 12 minutes, so Aegis and Cheese. And this is a lineup that can kill Roche quick enough that this doesn't feel too bad. Now, Ember Spirit gets his second core item. That's the Yule's Scepter. BKB coming up next. Some recovery here. Still a pretty big net worth deficit, but 7K. One more team fight, and we'll actually have a relatively even game on it.
Yeah, you've got to be a little bit... Not feeling too good. This is where the whole, like, the idea of just, we're getting to those heroes. Everyone's getting the levels they're supposed to have, the items they're supposed to have. And so when you're theory crafting between drafts, you start saying, all right, this looks good. And TNC hero. But they still have a ways to go. They still only have a single tier 1 in the top lane. Still a lot of lane pressure coming down through. And if they want to start splitting up and trying to maybe push these waves out, that's where they're going to punish. You have the Visage Birds in combination with the Nyx Assassin. That can still kill many of these heroes, like, by themselves. You know, just Nyx and Bird.
Yep. Absolutely right about that. The TA also going for a smart build. Butterfly up next after the BKB, realizing the Lycan probably not going to have a lot of extra gold to just go right into a Monkey King bar, so that will give her a lot of survivability against.
Yeah, and those summons, of course, going to have those options. And
great item choice here. Lycan all the while with the Aegis. He has Assault Cross coming up, so very common pick up on him. GH will get scouted out. Yeah, had the Carapace on, but he's dusted. A lot of team members nearby, but no Song of the Siren, still down for 20. It's a decent back wall. They get Cuckoo first, but they lose GH. Now the buyback from Cuckoo to get back into this fight. Lacking detection, Tim's now channeling the epicenter on the back line, but the damage is still just not there. Sam H barely surviving. Mind control getting low. Raven actually finds the kill, but they lose their Death Prophet. This could be a dieback for Cuckoo as Miracle has him isolated. Kuroki with the Song of the Siren sees that they're low. Buyback now from the Death Prophet. Also, TNC really want to try to turn this around. Nice blink on the Sand King. He'll survive through this, but Raven, the one left behind, the Lycan, gets put down, and that'll be the end of the Aegis. Armel, he does have cheese. There's the Yule's Scepter. Okay, he'll be just fine. Liquid do need to be a little careful here. A lot of resources still available for TNC. Tims is still alive, and Raven goes down for the second time. It's a dead dog, and now a dieback for Sam H as he gets stunned and finally brought down. Armel in the tree line. Does he have another remnant? Does not look like it. He'll try to TP the ensnare. It's there in time. Armel in big trouble. No teammates nearby. Sure, he's got the Yules, some wand charges, but not enough. Liquid come out big. They win the fight. 2 buybacks from TNC. Lots of economic damage.
Yeah, and you could see there just the stark contrast between the fight mid and the fight down bottom, and that was where they spent their initial resources in the engagement. They all went on a Nyx assassin. Kind of looked like he was just scouting maybe and just trying to see what was going on, but really his whole team was backing him up there. They cast a couple spells on the Nyx. Miracle jumps in. There's no instant catch for him. He just starts slaying. The only reason the fight wasn't over instantly was that Tims was able to survive just based off of the sandstorm. But then Miracle starts running. Everyone else, the Visage, once they can't focus the Death Prophet because of the Ghost Scepter, that's when Matsu says, oh, hello, let me just fire away these soul assumptions from 1 billion range into your amped up damage.
That definitely hurts. That does secure the Aghanim Scepter also for Matsu, so the extra familiar that they'll have to deal with, and it goes back up to a 13k net worth lead in favor of Liquid. Also, it would have been a different fight if that Song of the Siren was off cooldown when the fight started, but Kuro had some limited options there.
Try and survive, and then Song halfway through it. It was
worked out very well for Liquid. Still a huge kill advantage, and still think the big problem is going to be Miracle's Butterfly. He's now very close, just a quarter staff away. No, he's got it actually. Just needs to. He's a courier trip away. Okay, so next fight going to be difficult to lock down this Templar Assassin, I think, unless he gets caught in a really awkward.
Yeah, they're trying to find these smaller items like Medallion from Sam H here, but.
I think Crimson Guard going to be on the docket for Mind Control now. So doing this pretty classic Darkseer style with the auras, but Pipe, Crimson Guard on top of the Helm of the Dominator, doing a lot to mitigate.
Play their ball, and there's not that much punish for playing as like really tight 5. The only thing there is Tims, but obviously the Pipe negates a lot of what he can provide from the epicenter, especially if it pops.
Miracle in pretty deep, finds Cuckoo up top. A few more auto attacks will find it, but he does get stunned. Needs to be careful here as he's swapped back. The slight chains combo does fall short from Armel.
So patient on his feet. Like, not even worried. If he's targeting the Venge, really have to worry too much about initiation. I guess theoretically Tims could show up, but correct in assuming he wouldn't.
His team wasn't that far away either, with the BKB kind of rolling the dice that if you do get initiated on, your team would be there in time to turn things around.
Oh, there, Smasher's kind of lurking up here. Miracle's gonna have to hunt it down, trying to do every little thing they can to hold these waves.
Right. Still some options for the Radiant here. Getting close to that, what feels like an insurmountable lead. TNC kind of hanging in there in this early mid-game. Ember Spirit working on a Lincoln Spear next. So painful to see Armel have to go for purely defensive items. You know, Ember likes to be that driver, doing damage, kind of setting the tempo of the game, and he's just been forced to play completely reactive.
Bit unfortunate for him in this one. Perfect focus from Liquid. They knew that was kind of like the key hero. I think you're looking at the Lycan as well as the Ember Spirit, and as long as Ember doesn't have a game, it's pretty hard for Lycan to run over everything. His cooldown's so low.
MH stunned. That'll be it. They just back up.
Again, this patient play, going around, getting rid of the vision. I might even see a gem soon. They're having any sort of trouble breaching.
It'll be the final outer tower for TNC going down. Familiars able to just finish it off nice and easy. Crimson Guard and Shiva's going to be out next on the Darkseer. Maybe Liquid thinking about next Roshan before they want to break the high ground?
Yeah, it feels that way. I think going high ground, of course, we've all seen it. It's a little bit of a risky maneuver.
Even when you're 20k net worth ahead at 30 minutes.
Yeah, don't necessarily want to give anything away. The big swap, pretty painful, especially level 2. Decent range now. You have the epicenter too. We said it. Yeah, it's negated by pipe and everything, but of course, when everyone's just nearby and then followed up by a Crypt Swarm and the Ember Spirit and maybe this Shapeshift, just they're fighting in their own base. They still have a couple buybacks that they could use. Actually, like they have a single buyback that's looking good right now, but Ember theoretically could have it. He's farming up towards it right now.
Yeah, the Solar Crest now completed on the Death Prophet. It helps. It's a good value piece, allows her to get something despite having died so many times. Kind of similar to that Ember Spirit. Not the ideal kit on a Death Prophet.
I think if I'm Liquid, I'd like to try and chip away at tier 3. That would be ideal for me. Try and get the tier 3 down, get the shrines down, secure Roche, make it so that if they want to take that Roche fight, there's no buybacks to help out TNC.
Double damage on Miracle. Pretty close to expiring, but might have a couple seconds where you can utilize that burst damage. I feel like the way they're doing this with the familiars kind of on the front line. Batu will go ahead and use that resummon. 3 fresh birds out on the field. It looks like they'll take heed to your advice here, Trent, and start poking at this tier 3, but even this far behind, Ember is still an absolute god at defending these spawns.
The vision, though, it is gone. You look, they've got a little bit of a ward up here, but other than that, they can just play really tight, and it's all about just where Kuro is. I think a Blink Dagger for him will like completely secure, basically safe high grounding, right? You just kind of wait off to the side, and if they go for something, you just blink in with a song, everyone retreats out, easy.
Yeah,
but
he does have the Meteor completed already. So.
Yeah. With the no vision, it's just like, if they can't find Kuro, they can't really win the fight. They've done a great job of that, though, to be fair, in a lot of the fights. I feel like fighting down Kuro, they were like, there's 2 straight fights to start the game. Up into the dire jungle, also in the mid lane, focusing him down, but...
Also another big core item coming out for Liquid, that's the BKB on the Visit. A backliner, but Magic Immunity making him very difficult to kill, though at the same time, like in DP, very good against Magic Immunity. Definitely Roshan, what Liquid are waiting for at this point. A minute and a half until the big boy comes up, so it is a relatively late spawn. A little bit of RNG there, absolutely favoring TNC and extending this window where they might be able to recover Cuckoo. He wards, but he might pay with his life for this. They drop the sentry. It looks like it's going to go the other way. It's the Nyx Assassin that'll be in trouble. There is some support inbound. It's Kuro with the Song of the Siren. They save GH, and now they set up the other way. There's the Meteor Hammer, does connect, back wall on 2. It's a good silence from the Death Prophet. Still some hope for TNC as the BKB gets popped. Raven going in hard, Searing Chains on 2. Kuroki might actually be the first to go down. All 5 still alive for TNC. Very impressive given how that initiation started with the song.
Yeah, that silence was absolutely massive. They didn't have that proper follow-up from GH post Meteor Hammer. He tried to save it so you get the follow-up with the vacuum as well, so... Save there. Although this Death Prophet has become kind of utility, of course, as it was running the off lane, just a little bit poorer. The silence is still a pretty ridiculous spell.
3 hero silence, I think. Clutch. Yeah. Well, delays things a little bit, but over time, Liquid are just pulling ahead, and it makes sense. TNC are locked in their base. They have very limited avenues to farm, and Liquid have this whole Radiant jungle at their disposal as they continue to shove in lane. So, patient play from Liquid, but really no reason not to be. They're continuing to pull further and further ahead, and they can just do this. Birds force out a glyph. This is such a low-risk play from Liquid. Simply Familiars able to force this out, and they will secure the tier 3 down.
And you talked about the Ember building defensively, too. Like, sometimes Ember just shreds these birds like this, you know, but that's nothing. You know, he's just tickling them right now. Absolutely no way.
Swap from Cuckoo and initiation from Tims. It's a decent epi, but they've got too much mitigation. Back wall on 3 into the stomp. Tims goes down as well as Cuckoo. Double buyback now. They have lost Kuro on the side of Liquid. They might start to retreat a little bit. They've already gotten the barracks that they came for with both buybacks. I think this is when you start trying to get back to your side of the map. GH with a nice stun.
Yeah, he's going to run south and pull him.
Yep, just trying to make some space, but not going to be successful as Matumba Man also gets left behind.
Don't go in, Miracle. Don't do it. Let him go, man. And this is what they were worried about, right? Like this whole idea of the buybacks, and that's why it takes so long to go high ground. They still end up losing these heroes, and it is going to be a net worth gain to the Radiant side, but it is 2 buybacks. So at the same time, you're basically paying 1,000 gold out of your massive budget here, the Liquid, frankly, to get rid of 2 of these buybacks. So now you say, okay, we got a little bit of a window here. Make something happen. And that'll likely be the Roche pit. And that'll be that last real, like, do or die, refresher shard thing. Maybe TNC can pull something out.
Yeah, this is one of those classic moments where it feels like if Liquid get Roche, the game's over. If TNC gets Roche, it extends this game a little bit longer and gives them maybe a sign of life. It's still a huge wall that they have to climb. And it wasn't even really a defense from TNC. They used those buybacks. They still lost the Baron. Yeah. Roche gets evaporated, though, with the TA. It dies so fast. No way to react, and that'll be Aegis Cheese. Refresher actually gets picked up by GH.
Man, when you're so far ahead, you just ditch a smoke in the pit. Like, that's a bit rough.
Yep, that's certainly a degree of luxury not all of us have experienced in a Dota game.
Up top.
Miracle could be in trouble. Remember, he does have BKB, Assault Cross, and Butterfly.
He doesn't have the Aegis, too. I mean, maybe this is something we could find here.
The dust from Tims, they do jump onto the TA. There are a lot of dire heroes inbound, though, and Miracle does a lot of damage. He brings Tims relatively low. BKBs get popped on both sides. Miracle gets swapped back, and those Exorcism Ghosties are doing so much work. Armel will be able to finish him off with a sleight of fifth. But the rest of Liquid now jumping into the fray. It's a big back wall as Matumba Man jumps in the front lines. Song of the Siren breaks it up as the epicenter comes through.
Impale's ready.
Buyback from the TA. She's trying to get back into this. It's a nice Meteor Hammer. He picture perfect toggles it, and all 4 of TNC get killed. Raven, the only one still alive, as he is trying to hold off the creeps in the face. So
yeah,
it's pretty disastrously for TNC.
Nail in the coffin right there. Easy song, grouped up, Meteor Hammer, followed by the Impale. That's what they were looking for in that previous fight. Liquid finally getting that march going that looked like was inevitable for the past 20 minutes, honestly. Such quick control of this game. I don't think you can really blame anyone for looking at this TNC draft on paper and being like, okay, yeah, this looks like some good matchups, but when you just get that obliterated, like that top lane was irrelevant. The Death Drop and the Vengeful Spirit wiped away like 4 times instantly, and then the way that they were able to help them with that Nyx Assassin too, like Darkseer by himself, maybe he doesn't provide that much early, but he was able to just like lock down this little lane, a little bit of help down there.
Yep, final skirmish here. Liquid aren't even going to take the BKB and go right for the throne. They want to get out of this game 1. Go next. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I feel like that top lane was one of the most one-sided lanes we've seen because all the other lanes that we've cast so far, when it goes that bad, they rotate. They move it around. And that was just the same bodies going back into that same lane, suffering the same.
And you think about all the like aggressive dual lanes that we've had lately. They've, of course, been of maybe a higher caliber, too. But there is a punishment sometimes when you try and